Hey, welcome everybody. We're here with our NCAA Week 10 recap. I got Tony Capo with us, and I got Sick Dog with us. Donnie and Tristan can't make it tonight, but we're going to roll with this anyway. Number one, I want to make sure you guys understand we got college basketball rolling around. We got a new podcast. Tony Capo is running our NCAA basketball podcast. It's called Court is in Session with Judge Tony Capo, and it makes sense and it's beautiful and it's a lot of good information, and it's a lot of information. So I'm going to tell you guys right now. Make sure you go to coachescall.store, hit the menu button, go to the Discord, join our Discord because we talk a lot about it. Also, you can go to coachescall.store and check out all our podcasts. You want to go listen on Spotify or on YouTube. They've got a lot of good information. Sit Dog's a little bit under the weather. He's another one that loves this basketball, knows a lot about it, and they cover every single conference from the top five major conferences to the mid majors. Who we're going to fade, who we're going to bet. We had a lot of good info. I mean, we've got three or four or five teams that we're going to fade all year long, and we've got 3, 4, 5 teams that we are really looking to make a lot of money on as favorites. So make sure you go to Coach's Call Out Store, check out all our podcasts. It is the Court is in Session with Judge Tony Capo. Tony, Sid Dog, yes, thank you for being with us. Also, guys, I want to let you guys know, go and check out our partners at the Hunch ATL. Go visit the Hunch ATL to help track all your bets. Test yourself against other cappers. You can enter their free pick'em tournament also, a chance to win $1,250 in cash. And they're doing, I think it's football, basketball, hockey, a couple other things. You can win up to $1,250. It's every 2 weeks. Go visit the Hunch ATL for all your bet needs. Tony won two, I think it was a basketball in the NHL. Won
Yep.
right? He won $300.
Yep.
And then Donnie won 2. So some of their top cappers come from Coach's Call. So go over there, visit the Hunch ATL for all your betting needs. Thank you guys for being along, and let's get into it. What a wild week in college football. I'm telling you, I think it was everything that I expected and even more in college football. Let's go ahead and start with the big one. Georgia went ahead and handled Tennessee. I think we were all on Georgia, or most of us here on the staff were on Georgia. I know I bet them at -8, -8.5, and -9. I was a little scared there at the end. I thought maybe a backdoor cover by Tennessee, but Georgia held them off. I think Georgia did what they had to do. And here's the thing, and Tony and Sid Dog, I want to hear about what you guys think about this. But Georgia, when you play Georgia, they're going to make you play how they want to play. If they want you to throw the ball, then it's going to be a shootout. But if they're going to come out and say, you know what, we're going to grind it out, I'm going to see who the best team is, they're going to do that. And I told you guys, I made a comment last week when we did our pick'em. This was going to be a statement game by Georgia. And I think you could tell by Kirby Smart after he won it how excited he was. And I think they did make a statement. They are the number one team in the nation by far. I don't think there's anybody in the nation that comes even close to this. I think the score could have been worse, but with the rain and all that stuff, I think Georgia just they already had it in the bag, and they're going to be number one, and then they should be. What do you think, Tony?
No, I think what happened was in the first half, Georgia came out and said, hey, we're going to put up touchdowns. We're going to hold you to field goals, and you're not going to be able to keep up. And it was 24-6 at halftime. Yeah. And then the rain came, and they said, all right, now try to come from behind in the rain, and we're just going to coast. They looked dominant. They looked good. The Tennessee got exposed. And then is it because Georgia's that good? Did they give the game plan out on how to beat them? Or Tennessee just got ate up? I remember Hooker got sacked like 4 out of 5 times one time in a row in like the late third quarter. It was just it was an ugly performance by Tennessee. I feel bad for them. Georgia looks like the clear-cut best football team in the country, and I don't even know if there's a close second right now. Big ups to them. I got
Do
really
you
nothing to
really
say.
think, though, Tony? Let me ask you this: do you really think Tennessee looked bad, or Georgia just is Georgia?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Because what happened is, and me and Sit talked about this, all the great teams, all the great, fighters in history, even boxing, they make adjustments. So they come in with a game plan, you get punched in the mouth, they make an adjustment, and now you have to make an adjustment. And Sit said it perfectly when they interviewed Heupel at halftime. He looked like a fish out of water. He had no answer. And Sit put me onto that, and he could probably even say more, but they just couldn't make the adjustments. And I don't know if they have that skill level to make the adjustment. So it's a little both. If you could beat their initial game plan, I don't know if they're good enough to make the adjustments to switch it up. And that's why I think they got exposed.
Yeah. Sit, if you can, or if you want to, what do you think about that game?
Well, I think I was very clear on it. I had told Tony, I told all you guys, I think the level of recruiting, this started back when Kirby Smart left Alabama.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did Alabama's defense.
Mm.
What Alabama's defense used to be is now what Georgia's defense is. So you bring in Tennessee. Well, any good defense will stop a good offense. It's like in baseball, we say good pitching stops good offense.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened Saturday. This was no surprise to me because not only is Georgia good, they're deep. We're talking about Bowers. We're talking about Washington. How about Georgia's third string tight end is already projected as a second round pick in 2024, and he has 6 catches this year.
Yeah.
So the amount of depth that we're talking about is ridiculous. Kirby Smart, defensive back. Don't think he wasn't on those guys all week about, hey, don't let these guys get behind you. Let's keep it in front. Let's keep it in front. Let's keep it in front.
Yeah.
The entire game, they threw 3 balls deep. 2 were overthrown, and 1 was hit in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So you're kind of – and this is no knock on Tennessee because the guy's doing a great job. But there's a pecking order in this conference, and you have to kind of get – you got to get deep, too, in the SEC before you can sustainably overtake people. And Georgia had to do it with Alabama. It took some time. But Tennessee's on the way. They're going to have to upgrade their defense. They're going to have to upgrade the defense. But this was so easy because older bettors and guys like, Coach Z, you've seen this before in the SEC. I mean, a good offense runs into a high-caliber defense. The high-caliber defense usually shuts it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and Kirby had ready, and they're just so much better.
I'll tell
and
you
if they
what,
played again in Atlanta, but they can't. But if somehow they had to play again, I think it might even be worse because what can Tennessee do differently? What could they do differently to try to change the outcome of the game?
I love the way you said that. We keep saying Kirby Smart, but we forget there's a dude on the defensive side. On Georgia's defensive side, his name is Will Muschamp. The guy's been coaching unbelievable defense everywhere he's been. Now, he wasn't a very good head coach, but even where he went and he lost as a head coach, he still had very good defenses. Will Muschamp is a very, very good coach, and we talk about it all the time. Some of these coaches need to stay in their lane. This is Will Muschamp's lane. It's defense. Defense. And again, he comes from the Nick Saban line like Kirby Smart. Everybody's coming. And you're right. I think, Tony, I think Tennessee is on the right track. This is the first year, this isn't his first year, but this is the first year where now we're here, guys. Now where do we go? Now they've got to go recruit those backups. They need to get depth. They need to do those things. But I think Josh Heupel's got them in the right direction. I think he's got him in the right direction. I know. Muschamp was at Texas. I get it. We wanted to make sure we made that. I know. Tony and Sid are both hitting me with the Texas thing. Yes, he was.
He coached at Texas. He coached at Florida. But I mean, he's a Georgia.
Yes,
played defensive.
That's the thing.
He is a bulldog through and through.
And that's where
so
you
is
get
Kirby.
That's where you get those recruits. And Georgia is full of recruits. They're like Louisiana. Those guys they build them and they build them right for such a small state. They build them right. I think Josh Heupel's heading in the right direction, and I'm glad because we do need Tennessee to be good to make the SEC what it always is. But yeah, Georgia. I think you're right, Sid. I think you hit it in the head, and I'm with you. If they were to play the second time, I don't care where we can go to Tennessee. They beat them worse. Georgia is just Georgia. They're that
Georgia
much
is
better
the
than
new
everybody
Alabama.
else. Yeah.
Georgia is the new Alabama. And Georgia's defense, if you look at it incrementally, since Kirby Smart left Alabama has went less and less and less defense. We're talking about some of those dominant defenses 6, 7, 8 years. That's at Georgia now. And let's be honest, I'll go a step further. The Nick Saban era is ending now. It's on the downside. He's 100 years old, guys.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say to that, Sid. Here's what I'm going to say that the defense, the Kirby Smart defense that's at Georgia, that's Nick Saban's defense. Kirby Smart, that wasn't his defense. Kirby Smart is a product of Nick Saban. I never want anybody to forget that. Yes, is Nick Saban's time running out? Of course, because you can't stop Father Time. But I want to make sure everybody understands. And this is
the best coach ever. There's no doubt. I'm not. Yeah, he's the best coach ever.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. And I'm agreeing with you. I just want to make sure everybody listening understands.
The sun's going down. Yeah.
Yeah, the sun's going down. But the defense that's at Georgia's, that's Nick Saban's fucking defense. Kirby Smart took it from Alabama to Georgia. Kirby Smart has taken the recruiting. He's taken the changes that Nick Saban made. He's taken the process that Nick Saban started, and he's the only one that's doing it to the upper level like he should is Kirby Smart. And I love to see it. And I love to see Josh Heupel and what he's doing at Tennessee. And I think he's going to continue to do it. And I can't wait to see Tennessee in 2 or 3 years. I think it's going to be amazing. I think Alabama's not done yet. I don't think Nick Saban's
Coach Z.
Yet. Yes.
I got a question for you, the host.
Sir. Yes, sir.
A big question for you. If prime time, Deion Sanders, larger than life, going into college football is the players in college football are overwhelmingly African American.
Right.
Deion Sanders goes to Auburn. Is it a problem for Alabama and Georgia? Does he go? He's already brought a 5-star recruit to Jackson State.
It's a huge problem.
What?
It's a huge
Is
problem.
Deion Sanders dangerous to people's legacy? If he comes to the SEC, how quickly? I'm looking at it right now. I could see him going and sitting down in front of people. If Kirby Smart comes to your house, you're happy because he's there and they've done good and Nick Saban and everything else. But is Deion Sanders into this? I told someone today, is he in this larger than life profile? Hall of Famer, best cornerback ever. He's very religious. He's into God. He's he said, "Hey, I've been on this high." Can he not go into any living room in America and just rip 5-star? These kids relate to things. Deion Sanders is dangerous.
Here's what Deion Sanders can do. He can go rape and pillage in any living room in the country and not have to pay for it. That's my thinking. Because what Deion Sanders does, and it was funny because I saw an interview he had with the guy, and the guy that was doing the interview was African American, and they started the interview, and he goes, "No, don't come at me like that. Talk to me like you talked to me before we started the interview." He said, "Excuse me?" He goes, "No, you don't come at me all like, man, we're talking. We are who we are." Deion Sanders is going to stay true to who he is, right? And he's going to bring up some good coaches. He's going to get some good coaches, but he's going to get some great players. Now, here's the thing. Can he do with those great players what Nick Saban, what Kirby Smart, what Josh Heupel, what Urban Meyer have done? I mean, what Matt Brown did, what Bob Stoops did. Can he do that for a prolonged period? Can he create a program? Can he run an offense, a defense, a process, a system that will stand and for all the test of time in college football is a 5 to 8 year span right now is what we're looking at. Can he do that? I don't know. Can he go get the best players in the country for free? Hell yes, 100%. Who wouldn't want to play under Neon Deion Sanders? That guy is a used car salesman if I ever saw one. He was one of the best football players, one of the best athletes ever, of course. And he's staying true to himself. He's not going to lie or anything. But can you run a program that can sustain those ups and those downs? Because you get these kids, here's the thing, Sit, and I know we're going deeper into this than we thought, but here's the thing. There's got to be some kind of discipline to where, okay, the flash and the beauty and the pageantry, and we got all these kids, and we got the music and the boom, boom, pow, and the lights and everything. That's cool. That shit goes away after they hit you in the fucking mouth once or twice. Now you got to play football, and now you got to make adjustments, and now you've got to really get in depth. And now you're talking to your coaches, going, okay, what are we doing? They're putting 5 down, 4 down. They're playing quarters. They're playing halves. Okay, we run in motion. They're showing me, okay, they're in zero coverage or in too high, man under, or they're playing a Tampa 2. How do we adjust to that as an offensive coordinator? I said a bunch of shit that people right now listen to our podcast don't have a fucking clue, right? I'm not sure that Deion Sanders understands that. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Deion does, because anybody that's ever coached him has always said Deion was very smart. And
Yes.
he didn't just go play baseball and whatever.
I agree with
he
that.
Understands all that. But and
I agree with that. But if you remember,
he went to a bad.
I agree with that. But if you remember, Sid Dog, he was a lockdown corner. He was a lockdown corner his entire life. That's what his job was. He was a lockdown corner in college, and he was a lockdown corner in the pros. When I coached 18 years as a defensive coordinator, I always had a lockdown corner, and I was always fortunate that I had a good one. You don't even talk to the kid. You teach him how to do stuff, as a lockdown corner, but you don't worry about nothing. You don't worry about
one thing about Deion is,
but now is Deion Sanders on the offensive side of the ball?
I don't think you guys look at his staff. He's brought in guys that have 25 years of experience in the NFL at Jackson State. I think Deion knows what he is. That's what I think makes it even more dangerous. He's going to bring the kids in, and then he's going to delegate. He's going to CEO. Yeah. And if you have good enough players, all right, let me ask you guys a question.
I'm with you. Dude, Sid Dog, stop. Stop, 1 second. Sid Dog, stop. 1 second. 1 second. I agree 1,000% with what you were saying. I mean, if he does bring those guys in, the world better fucking watch out. The problem is, here's my problem. The boosters at Auburn will somehow fuck that up. I don't know if Auburn's a place for him. That's why I really wanted him to go to FSU. That would have been a perfect fit. Perfect. But yes, he can do
he'll
it.
be fine.
I'm with you.
Winning is winning, just like they put up with Cam Newton.
Finish what you were saying. Go ahead, buddy.
I was just saying that they'll win, and winning is winning, and he'll bring guys in. But I think Deion is maybe it's a little bit of Deion is like, well, I'm not going to coach this and this. I'm going to do this. I don't think Deion wants to run the entire team. I think he wants to delegate. I think he wants to have coaches to do things, and he wants to spread things out. But we're sitting here watching Sarkisian. We're watching him we're watching coaches that can't do that. So, I mean, I think that Deion is probably smarter than we're giving him credit for. I think he's going to do it. I think he is a danger to
For those of you listening or watching on Spotify or YouTube, thank you for joining us. But Sit Dog just marked a stamp on why I have these gentlemen here. This is why my team is my team. Sit Dog said the same thing I was going to say. This is Sarkisian's problem. He's trying to run a team and call the plays. Do not do that. And you are right, 1,000%, Sit. You are right. Deion is going to come in. He's going to get the players, create excitement, get the coaches, and he's going to run the team. And he's going to let the coaches coach. And if he does that, the world better watch out, because Deion's young. He can be around for another 20 years. You better watch out. I'm with you. I love the guy. I absolutely love everything.
Think about who he played for too. Think about the coaches in the NFL. I mean, like, do you think he's going to come in and try to do everything, or do you think he's going to come in and be a CEO like Bill Walsh, or when he was at Dallas, or I mean, he played for so many people too.
From the league that I've watched.
He went to Florida State at Bobby Bowden. You're talking about a guy that's
one of the greatest coaches ever.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a guy and look, he went to Jackson State and has already showed it. That was a bad program. He's already made him into the best program at that level that he could do. I hate to say this, but if Deion Sanders was a different person and looked a little different, he'd already have a big-time job. Yeah. And that's just America, and that's fact. I mean, the guy's he's a Hall of Fame football player, the best ever at his position. Does anybody debate that? He's the best ever cornerback in the NFL.
You can always make an argument. But
yeah, you can always make an argument, but no. I'm with you.
You can make an argument, but I don't think anybody's going to.
Here's the thing, and y'all have to agree with me here. I know you will. This is exciting to see what's going to happen. It really is.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, as an A&M fan, I would love for him to come to fucking A&M. I would love it.
Same thing with Texas as a Longhorn fan.
Yeah. I mean,
I think any country unless you're, maybe a Saban or a Kirby Smart or, established, but I think any country in America would love to have them.
And we talked about this in our NFL podcast. I love the change because I was around when football changed from the 3 yards in a cloud of dust, 2 tight end, fullback, wingback, get 3 yards, and everybody was playing a bear defense, and you win a game 7-3 or 10-7. That was football back then. And I've seen the change to where you go, 4 wides, 5 wides. When Sonny Dykes' dad, changed all that back in the Valley in high school. Ty Detmer's dad was over there coaching with him in the Valley and here in Texas, and they were going 4 wides, and nobody knew how adjust to it. I think this is coming. A guy like Deion Sanders and guys like that are going to follow, and I think it's good for football. I really do, as long as you do it right, because they bring the excitement, they bring the pageantry, but they got to do it right. As long as the discipline is there, to where they can control these kids, like everybody. And what I mean by control is the discipline of running play to play. Just because something bad happens, you lose your shit, and they're no longer good for you in the game. No, as long as they do that, and Deion's proven that he can do it, and I think
Deion. Yeah, I do too.
I think
Deion will.
yeah, I think he deserves the chance, and I'm excited about it, and I hope, and I want to see it before I die. I want to see this other change in college football. I am excited about it.
The only thing I want to add real quick,
yeah,
is I wish he would go somewhere other than the SEC, because I'm tired of that fucking conference. Give somebody else.
Well,
give
that's
somebody
not-
else the
well,
hype.
Well, that's not going to happen. I mean, with Texas
I'm
and
just saying.
Oklahoma coming in, you can forget that.
Yeah.
If you like college football and you don't like the SEC, then you need to quit liking college football.
Well, the problem is I'm gonna have to start watching the SEC more with Texas coming there now.
Yeah, Texas and Oklahoma.
I mean, you got Texas. You got a super conference now, and you kind of got everybody else. I mean, it's kind of like, what do you want me to do? You want me to sit here and watch Clemson and Wake Forest, and you want me to get hard on about it?
I want to elevate. I want diversity. That's all. I just want diversity.
Well, this is what we talked.
Reality.
Well, this is what we talked about now, and I've said it before on our on this podcast, is we need Tennessee to be good. We need Florida State and Florida to be good. We need USC and UCLA to be good. We need Ohio State and Michigan to be good. I need Michigan State to get their fucking head. Hold on. I need Michigan State to get their head out of their ass and play defense the way they used to. I need them to be good. We need them. We need Texas. We need Oklahoma to be good. That's enough for me. And we got the SEC, right? But
if you don't like the SEC, then you can't like the Big Ten with USC and UCLA coming there.
I don't like that move. I don't like that move.
But that's happening. We're talking about
happening,
reality.
absolutely. I'm gonna adapt with the times. I think it's bad for the sport. That's all I'm saying. I think it's watering down the sport. You're making super conferences and you're making everything else irrelevant. That's all I'm saying. I think it's bad for the overall sport. As a fan, as a bettor, the whole nine.
Yeah,
that's it.
But those teams, and this is me. I mean, I'm older than everybody else, and I'm even older than Sid Dog. But I need for us for college football, it's those programs that have a brand. USC, UCLA, Ohio State, Michigan, even Michigan State. I'm going to go there. Florida State, Florida, Miami. We need Miami to pick it up, and then you have the SEC. You have, Texas, Oklahoma over here. We need that. We need it. We need it for college football. Even if they go to the super conferences, those teams need to be good. They need to be good for us to compete. But getting back, and the last thing is, yes, Sit Dog Tony, I agree. I think the Deion Sanders thing going on right now is absolutely fucking beautiful for college football. And guys like Sark and the idiot at Oklahoma and these younger coaches, they're shitting their pants because, dude, I'm telling you, it's not only, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to go on record by saying it. It is not only Deion Sanders, but there are 20, 30, 40 other guys like Deion Sanders waiting that are going to be just as good, just as powerful in recruiting and things like that, that just like the 4 wides and the five wides change the offensive scheme, the coaching landscape is going to change. It is, and I can't wait for it to happen.
Well, I think there's good coaches out there. Even look, if I'm Auburn, this isn't a hard decision, and
Not at all.
their list and my list is totally different.
Number
but if I
one,
can't,
number one,
if I,
Cadillac Williams is not the guy. Let's just.
he's not.
I love the energy
I
he
love
brings,
the
though.
yeah, I love the energy. But I mean, I go straight to Kansas and go. I'm bringing Lupul in. I mean,
What
if
about
I
Hugh
can't get
Freeze?
if I can't get prime time, and then I go to Hugh Freeze. But I've told you about Hugh Freeze. I mean,
You did.
I don't care about somebody's history. This is the SEC. It's about winning. And Hugh Freeze just beat Arkansas on Saturday. So, like, do you want to win? Because that's the three guys that I would bring in that I know that I would win with.
The SEC has enough money to buy hookers for everybody. That's not a big deal. They just got to get the right guy. Hey, let's move
who
on.
cares? Who cares?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Who cares?
And I love
you
it.
don't think they're doing it in Louisville was buying hookers for their basketball team. I mean.
And thank you for bringing up Neon Dion because I love that talk. I'm excited about it. But I'll tell you what, once he makes it, there's going to be 10, 15, 20. If Deion Sanders does get that shot, he's going to open the door. And if you think the 4 and 5 wide offense changed everything, if you think the 3-3 stack changed the defenses, okay, we used to be a 5 down lineman, 4 down lineman. Now, and I ran this defense a 3-3 stack. I mean, I took it from Mississippi State 18 years ago, 15 years ago. Everything changes. And then the RPOs. Who heard of an RPO 4 years ago? Nobody.
That's when it started to get popular.
And now the RPO is even in the NFL. Guess what? The Deion Sanders of the world, they're coming, and they're coming with a vengeance, and it's going to change the landscape of college football, and I can't fucking wait to see it. It's going to be exciting, and I hope it works. I really do. But let's go. Ohio State goes to Northwestern 21-7, the number 2 team in the nation. I think they've got the number 3 quarterback and the number 3 running back in the nation also. But they only win by, it's 21-7. Is Ohio
they played in a
State that good?
Yeah.
Donnie, what's up, Donnie?
No, Ohio State is not that fucking good. I don't care. I watched the whole game. They're lucky to have come out of Northwestern with a fucking win. They are not good.
It was a
Michigan?
monsoon.
I don't care. Michigan's going to beat them. I've never thought Michigan was going to beat Ohio State until this year. They're going to beat Ohio State.
Really?
I think so.
They were without their running back Henderson. That might have to. You got a monsoon. You can't throw the ball like you want, and then you got to rely on a backup running back who still had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's the kicker. Like, you can't say the running back didn't do his job. Their problem,
backup running back did his job.
Their problem is they're just not. They're not explosive. That's why they're going to get beat when they go to the SEC or when they go to the championship. SEC team will destroy them. I mean, I'll take Tennessee over them right now.
Oh.
I agree. 100%. I am with you on that, Donnie. Sit, dog.
I don't even know why the hell y'all think they're going to beat Michigan. I mean, this foregone conclusion that Ohio State's going to beat Michigan is beyond me. Did anybody see what Michigan did to Penn State?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Penn State was – I mean, the only reason Penn State lost to Ohio State is because they choked on applesauce. They gave the game away.
I'm tired of that fucking head coach over there, too.
They had the game secured. So, I mean, like, everybody's sitting here going, I just think probably the most underrated team in the country right now is Michigan. They're just beating the hell out of everybody.
Yeah, but they suck.
But what does I mean, I watched Ohio State, and I'm looking at their defense, and they're not fast like Georgia. They're not athletic like Georgia. They might have the stars by their name, but
the Big Ten is horrible. We've agreed on that. The Big Ten doesn't have any reason.
Y'all
to
agreed
be-
on that.
Yeah, the Big Ten has no. If they go to any kind of playoff, they get their shit waxed. James
Why do y'all
Franklin.
think Ohio State will Michigan? I mean, I don't other than you just think it's going to happen, but like
No, Donnie just said Michigan will
I
win.
haven't.
Yeah, I
Donnie
said
just said
Michigan's going to
Michigan.
beat them.
Yeah, I think
Well, then
Michigan
that
wins by
puts-
fucking 3 touchdowns. I don't think it's
Well,
even.
then
a
why are we
game.
talking?
touchdown.
Then why are we talking about Ohio State? Then we need to be talking about Michigan.
Well,
I'm okay with
because
talking
they
about
were number 2 and they lost. That's why I was bringing it up.
It's not.
They didn't-
It's not
they didn't lose.
It's not sexy, but you know,
win's a win.
it's not, well.
A
I
win
mean,
is a win.
Michigan's been beating
A
people
win
All
is
pretty
a
you got to
win.
do is scrape by.
Not anymore.
No.
Not
Here's
anymore.
the
You know what?
kicker.
I'm going to give
I
you
mean-
guys a hot take. I'm going to give you guys a hot
All right.
take real quick. All right. And I looked into it. It fits the storyline perfect. Ohio State looking down. They're not looking as good as they used to be. They have the Heisman front runner who is disappointing so far. But do you guys know where the college football championship game is being held this year?
Where?
SoFi Stadium in LA. You know where CJ Stroud is
Lord.
from? He's from
Cal-
California.
California.
You know how much money is going to be on Georgia when they play Ohio State in the championship? 90%.
They won't
Ohio
play in the
State.
championship.
They will,
Ohio
and
State will
Ohio
make it
State
here.
wins. The kid comes home and wins a national championship before going to the pros. Heard it
Ohio
here
State's
first.
going to play another fucking SEC team and get their ass waxed.
You heard it
If they
here
get there.
first.
I got you.
Here's the
Everybody write
kicker.
that down.
Write it down, pin it.
Coach is
tattoo it.
right. Coach is right. At the moment, it looks like we're going to get either Michigan or Ohio State, TCU if they can run the table, and then Tennessee and Georgia. And you know they're not going to pair SEC teams against each other because Tennessee is going to come in fourth. The undefeateds have to come in above that. And that means, you know, Michigan, Ohio State, or TCU is going to play Tennessee, and they're probably going to get beat because none of those teams have seen an offense that's as explosive as Tennessee's is. And on the other side, I don't think that Michigan, Ohio State, or TCU has seen a defense as good as Georgia's is. I know everybody coming in said that Georgia's defense was going to be down.
No.
Yeah, they just
That's a
reloaded the
joke.
shotgun.
That's a joke. We talked about that deeply. I mean, Georgia is the new Alabama, and we've talked about that deeply. But there's no.
Well, I'm saying before the season.
Yeah.
Let's get into this Tennessee thing. I mean, even if they sneak in, and they may sneak in, that means
Well, who
that
else is going to go?
TCU runs.
Okay.
Well,
Hold
if
Hey.
TCU runs the table.
Hey, let's do this. And,
Yeah.
hold on to that Tennessee thought because I want to run because we're gonna. I've got this thing. I've got a plan here. Trust the process.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna go through 2 more teams.
I just jumped in, so I'm
No,
gonna just jump
we're
in and
good.
kick shit.
We're good. Okay. So I called this motherfucker. Notre Dame beats Clemson.
You called it.
Clemson
Thank
was
God.
way
Thank
overrated.
God.
Both of y'all did. Donnie did too.
Clemson
Good shit,
way
y'all.
overrated. Clemson is ACC's Ole Miss to the SEC. Notre Dame beat the shit out of them, so they're done. They're gone. There's no way a one-loss Clemson team goes forward. We go Michigan 52-17. They deserve it. Great. State number 5. Stay out of the way. Get the fuck out of the way. But then we come to LSU. And I told you some bitches, LSU's trending. It's at night. It's at Death Valley. Yes, Alabama was exposed, blah, blah, blah. LSU beats them 32-31. Now Alabama has 2 losses, right? Go down to the next team. TCU beats Texas Tech. All right, so TCU's undefeated. Let's go back to Alabama. Alabama has 2 losses. Why? Because of 2 plays. If it weren't for 2 plays, Alabama is undefeated. They miss a field goal. Tennessee makes a field goal. LSU, because of the balls that they have, and I loved it. I loved it because I made money because I called the LSU money line. They go for 2. So now Alabama's down. They lose 2. If it weren't for two, I mean, they're not losing games by 10, by 14, by 17, by 8. No, it's 2 fucking plays. And these motherfuckers have 2 losses and everybody's writing them out. I still think in my heart of hearts, they're the number 3 team in the nation. There's not anybody else that's going to beat Alabama. Nobody. They deserve to be there. But let's move down. Any rebuttal there? Y'all go ahead. Let me have it.
No, I mean,
there's no rebuttal. Here's a
great story with that. You've got Georgia going to the championships. Who are they going to face? Are they going to face LSU? Or are they going to face Alabama? Right now, it has to be LSU if I'm wrong.
Right.
Tell me.
But
the West still has some beating up on each other to do.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's say LSU slips and falls, and Ole Miss slips and falls, because Ole Miss still got to play Alabama.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, correct.
So now Alabama is back in the championship game. And what if they squeak out a win against Georgia? Man, that puts a whole shitstorm into everybody.
Yep. My hope is that
that's a squeak out that I just don't think that. Here, if you don't like Georgia, and I told Tony this last week, if you don't like Georgia, then you don't like Stetson Bennett. But if there's anything else about them that you don't like, insane. And that's just too much to overcome.
No, there's nothing about like or dislike here. This is about, real situations. I was hoping we'd get to the point where we would be talking about maybe A&M could beat LSU, get them out of the picture. Well, that shit ain't happening. We're probably going to lose to UMass this week. So, I don't say, and I'm serious about that shit. I might put some money on UMass.
Y'all got to play Vanderbilt because that's a loss.
No, fuck you. It's just that,
Unfortunately for college football, Georgia is going to win the national championship again this year, and they're going to be better next year.
Well, that's fine. They can. Our thing is,
that's what's sad.
Who's going to get in?
Georgia's going to be better next year than next. They're going to be better next year than this.
And that's fine. And that's good. That's fine. My thing is, who are the other 3 and why? TCU 9-0. They're not.
TCU's not even going to make the playoff. They're going to lose. They have 2 chances. They have to beat Texas, then they play Baylor, and then they got to win again. And if they lose one, they're out. And they're going to beat
Texas.
TCU is not. To me, TCU isn't even an option. I think they're out already.
What do you think? Here's an option for you. What do you guys think if, let's say, TCU loses, Michigan or Ohio State? One of those has got to lose. Georgia runs the table. What are your top 4? Do you go Michigan, Ohio State, Tennessee, Georgia, and just run a full Big Ten SEC championship?
Don't sleep on Oregon. How about that one too?
Oh my God, Oregon shouldn't even be in the ball game after that beating they took from Georgia.
No, that's week 1. They're getting better week in and week out. You got a team full of transfers who are trying to mesh. Yeah, they get their ass kicked in, but that game today will be a lot closer. Maybe they lose by 20. Who knows? But week in and week out, they are getting better. You can't sleep on them. They're destroying shit.
It was. I
think I saw Bo Nix. I think I saw Bo Nix get his ass kicked for about 3 years in the SEC. So now he's going to come back and beat an SEC team.
Why not? He's familiar with them. He's familiar with them.
They're familiar with him too.
I love what Tony said there. Now they may be getting beat by 20.
Yeah, but I'm just saying No. You asked me who's the other 3.
Georgia's.
I'm just saying you can't sleep on Oregon.
I'm telling you, Georgia's scared to death of Oregon right now, boy. I'm telling you, they're scared to death.
I just answered the question. You said who's the other 3? They could definitely. They're getting better week in and week out. I'm more and more impressed with them. They have Washington left at home. They have Utah at home, and then they got to go to Oregon State. But it's
Utah
virtually
beats them at home, by the way.
It's possible. I don't think so.
This is where the men get separated from boys, Captain. If you think that Oregon can,
I'm still profitable.
Sick in the car.
Men and the
I
boys.
just, you know, LSU.
No, I get it. I mean, it's one of those crazy scenarios where we can literally have. Like, I looked at all the scenarios trying to come up with like different top fours and how they can work out. I mean, I think Clemson's completely out of the picture. Like, you can't lose Notre Dame.
No.
And
Yeah, no, Clemson's
and
out.
after the year Notre Dame's had, like if Notre Dame was excellent, it would be different. I don't think that TCU, if they lose, is going to make it in. And I mean, yeah, they still have to go to Texas and Texas Tech, but they got to play. I mean, who's going to make the championship? You know, is it Baylor? And they have to play Baylor twice, or is it Texas? They got to play Texas twice. I mean,
Well, that's
whatever
the
that
thing.
is, a murderer's row for them.
No,
Well, that's
it
the
is.
thing. The only way a Big 12 team makes it is TCU. That's it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
You got to
And-
run
and-
the table.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, TCU looked bad this weekend without their go-to wide receiver.
Yeah.
Dugan was overthrowing guys. I mean, Johnson is 6'4", so you could throw the ball high. And then your number 2 wide receiver is 5'11". So when you're trying to do the same shit with their replacement, and it looked bad. It was upsetting. Kendra Miller kind of carried them, and Texas Tech shooting themselves in the foot, kept going for it on fourth, killed them too.
I hope TCU gets in. I'd love to make money off of it. I would love to
Oh,
because
me
I
too.
think
Absolutely.
TCU, I would love to. go.
So
Now-
we should want TCU and Oregon
course.
and
Oh,
Ohio
100%.
State in there.
Don't give me this
Please,
Big 12 is
Georgia.
good and stuff. Please.
No,
Don't give
They're
it
the
to
they're the second best conference.
But for
No,
the
they're
sake of
not.
making money, for the sake
I
of
mean,
making money,
even if they're the second best, they're so far down the list that it
There's
doesn't.
more. There's
mean,
more
like,
teams in
that's
the
like saying-
ACC rank than there is
Yeah.
in the Big 12, and he wants to just. He has this bias towards the Big 12, and I'm
And you
just
guys
not
got a
buying it.
bias with the SEC. You guys are all in SEC country, so
Well,
of course
the
you're
because
gonna
we-
vote.
well, the
because we are the
SEC's
best conference.
SEC's earned it.
You guys
we're
are the best
conference.
conference.
Top to bottom,
Absolutely.
we're the best conference, and we have been and will continue to be.
Oh,
How many
my.
times is that? Well, how many championships has SEC won in the last 10 years?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you guys, but it's
Okay.
just held too much to hold them up on this
I-
pedestal,
I'd
and you guys
love
look
to
at everybody
see
else's
TCU.
shit. There's other teams that can
Well,
slip.
well,
I mean,
I'm
they're
gonna
at the
let you-
top of the fucking.
Upsets happen every week, my
Hey,
friends. Upsets happen every
TCU
week.
If TCU
But you
played
laugh at me
Georgia,
every time I
that
tell you
shit
that.
would become-
Every time an
Yeah, it
upset's
would
going
be
to happen, you
unbelievable.
laugh at me. Every
Not
time.
every time.
I give
That's
you
not-
guys upsets. Every week I give
Hey,
you upsets,
Donnie,
and y'all
Donnie.
laugh at me.
Donnie, cap it right now. Georgia versus TCU, cap it. Give me a handicap that game.
24.
Yeah,
I'll-
I mean,
And I'd say the spread,
close.
the spread would probably be like 16 and a
18.
half, I would say.
18.
Okay.
18.
I say
it'll-
spread would be 16 and a half.
I
I mean,
17.
it's double digits. It's double digits.
It-
It's double
it may
digits, and it could be
it may
50 to
start it-
fucking 3.
Yeah, but Georgia's in its own league to literally everybody else in
Well,
in
give me
college
Georgia,
football right now.
Michigan. Handicap with Georgia, Michigan.
8.5, 9.
15. 15.
I'm thinking 14 points.
Oh,
14.
I'm
it'll be
thinking
double
14. I'm thinking 14 too. You
Yeah.
can't. I mean,
That's 15.
you're gonna.
It'll be
gonna
over
lie-
2
I mean,
touchdowns.
because Michigan's strength is running the ball. Oh, they're going to line up and run the ball against Georgia. It's
Never.
just not going to happen. You don't
Oh,
have
I
the
think it'll work out.
players.
That's like
You just
building
don't have the players.
Here's the
building a house in quicksand.
let's look at
yeah. It's,
let's
yeah,
look at
you
last
can't
week
do
for
it.
the perfect example. Last week was a perfect example. The line came out, Tennessee, Georgia. It was at 13. It got hammered so hard by fucking Tennessee players, it moved all the way down to 8.5.
Yep.
The sharp money just sat there and said, yeah, keep fucking hammering it, and we're going to take it. And on Thursday, I told everybody, it's already moved so much that it's going back up. And the money just kept coming in. It ended up at 9 at one point, and
I bought it at 8,
The-
8.5, and 9.
it literally covered the 13 and a half. I mean, like it, and Tennessee had, I think Tennessee has the most explosive offense. They may not have the best offense because they can't
If
run
he
the
can't
ball.
score on them, then who the hell is? If
Yeah, and that's
Tennessee
what I'm
can't
saying.
score on Georgia, then who the hell is?
Exactly. So that's going to be the kicker. I
Schematically,
think
it's
you
good.
see-
receivers wide, they have probably two guys that are going the first 3 rounds. So if you can't schematically do it like Tennessee does with and I'm telling you, I watched Heupel at halftime. When they interviewed him, he looked like he'd seen a ghost. They got 6 points, and they're asking him what happened, and he's like, "Well, we got stopped, and there's nothing we can do.
No,
They're better than us."
Tennessee has the second best offense in the nation. Nobody has a better offense other
I
than
think they're the
Georgia.
best offense. I think they're better than Georgia offensively. I do.
Who?
I just think that I think Tennessee's better than Georgia offensively. But Georgia is so far ahead of everybody else defensively, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Thanks to Wolf
You know,
Muschamp.
You're putting up the number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense, and the defense is just winning. Like, it had nothing to do with
I
it.
don't think
know
people
that- I
understand.
think Georgia's
I just don't think people understand that he's got guys that are going to go in the first 3 rounds that are third string depth,
No,
playing 25%. They're playing
that. I think everybody knows.
I don't think that's true because 80% of the money was on Tennessee. I don't think.
Public
by the
bettors
time
are
it
telling
got
you.
there, by the time game started, it was only 68% of the money. Now
Yeah.
it was 80%.
That's still a lot.
74% of the bets. But Jesus, at one point it was 90-94. And I mean,
Yeah, I don't think people understand that this has been a process of them like adding this egregious amount of talent that's first and second round, third round guys that they're going, hey, come here and play. And if you only play 25% of the snaps, like Nolan Clark, a first rounder, goes out. And it's like the 2 guys behind him, they're still guys that are going to go first to the third round. I mean, they're like, come here. You don't have to play every down. You don't have to, like, they've bought into what Georgia's doing. It's like, play 50%, 60% of the snaps. And then play these 5-star guys where Saban wouldn't play them. He made them earn the ropes. He made them go. Georgia's playing them 25% of the snaps. They're putting out good tape. That's why Georgia had the most drafted players ever last year.
I think the difference between those coaches.
Georgia's got
the difference on those coaching styles is pretty evident. Saban will run his horses until they're dead, where Georgia's going to run them, like you said, 75%. I'm going to give the other 25% in there for some blow. But guess what? Now next year, they're ready to go. They step right in. They've already got a good background and plan. And if for some reason somebody gets hurt, they step in at 50%, ready to go. So that's just different. It's a different coaching style, but it's working.
Georgia lost the first rounder at defensive end, and the line didn't even move. It didn't even move.
Yeah.
That's when you knew right then, just jump on Georgia, because like Vegas knew they were laughing their ass off because all the money was on Tennessee, and they knew that the better players were on Georgia. They laughed their ass off. They were like, that's how they build mansions in the desert.
This isn't going to change. It's not going to be like that one year where Georgia was number 1, all the money was on Georgia, and we called the Alabama upset in the national championship. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to go around the horn because we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to call Georgia winning the national championship. I really don't give a shit. I just hope TCU makes it. There's going to be another SEC team in there. I mean, that's 3. And I just because I don't like Harbaugh, I'm going to call for an Ohio State upset of Michigan. So Ohio State,
They're
Georgia.
favorite. How can that be an upset? It's not gonna be an upset.
Well, I mean, Michigan's going to be favored. No,
No, they're not.
Well,
Ohio
if
State's
you like college football and you want some surprises, then you better hope that some people from Georgia break their legs or they get beat up or something like that. Because otherwise, they're going to win it this year and they're going to turn around and win it next year. Because if you think Georgia's good this year and you don't think, and I'm telling you, everybody in their fan base says that their backup quarterback is a 5-star. They think he's better than Stetson Bennett now. You don't have to be really good.
I know. I agree with you, Sid Dog. I agree. It's the same. The tide has changed. Nick Saban's process, Nick Saban's way of doing things. Now Kirby Smart is doing it bigger and better than he was. And that's where he was taught. So now it's Georgia's time. So in the next 12 years, Georgia will win their 7 championships, just like Alabama did. And now Nick Saban can ride off into the sunset, and who knows what's going to happen, because now Kirby's going to start losing all his assistants, and I don't know where it's going to go, but I hope it stays in the SEC, because that's where real football is played. Sorry, Tony. I'm going to, Georgia's going to win it all.
It ain't going to be UCF and Cincinnati and
what do you think, Johnny?
and the Big 12.
Who's going to be our Final Four? Real quick.
Well, I think the Final Four is Michigan, Tennessee, Georgia, and then it's up to TCU. I mean, if TCU makes it, if they run the table, it's them. If not, I think it could very well be Ohio State and Michigan both in there. And
I love it. Tony, what do you think? Real quick, give me your 4.
I don't know that that's good for college football, because I think it's just going to be I don't know. It sucks, but I think whoever wins between Michigan and Ohio State, and then Tennessee and Georgia, unless Georgia loses in the finals or in the championship, which could happen.
If they do, they're still in.
Oh, if they do, they're still in, no matter what.
Yeah,
but then that may bump Tennessee out, and you get Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Oregon.
And we might be able to make more money like that, right?
Yeah, and I understand Tony says they're better. I mean, they are better. They're definitely, they came in and expected to be something, and something just happened to be a doormat. But that's if you want to know what's good for college football, wait for a big SEC team to hire a new coach.
Tony, what do you got?
Yeah, well, I think I want it too. I want to see.
Just because I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, and you guys aren't gonna like it. Just to ruffle some feathers. It's gonna be Georgia, Ohio State, TCU, and Oregon. Just to ruffle feathers.
All right.
Give me one team from all the majors.
We can make a lot of money on those 4. I like it.
Exactly. Dog. And we're in this business to make money.
Exactly. Sid Dog, what do you got on your 4?
Well, I know Georgia's going to be there. I don't know about Michigan and Ohio State, so I can't make a pick about that until it plays. If you want me to make a pick on that,
yeah,
God, flip a coin. I don't know. I mean, I really don't. It's kind of like I don't know. But the one thing that I do know,
got to score on Georgia to beat the son of bitches. And I'm not sure anybody can do that.
All right, so then give me the 4th team. You don't know about those 2. Give me the 4th team.
You want me to throw 4 teams at you? All right, here we go. 4 teams. Georgia 1, Georgia 2, Georgia 3, Georgia 4, and win the national championship. I mean, everything else is kind of like talking about my girlfriend in the 3rd grade. She liked the little poppy sticks, but I brought her chocolate candy and she broke up with me.
Tony, what you got?
Georgia's still plus 100 to win the national championship. Throw all your money on them if you're that confident. ROI of 100%. Double your money.
There you go.
Well, I've already put quite a bit on it.
Already. Guys, thanks for being on.
I got it at various levels.
Hey guys, thanks for being on.
Hey, wait. want to get a parting shot in. I want a
Go
parting
ahead.
shot. All right. So who would be the best coach to come up out of the small time divisions and ruffle some big team feathers?
Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders.
We had a good 20-minute talk about that before he joined.
Here's the kicker: Florida State's not going to take it because they don't want to give up the control. So who takes it?
Auburn.
I already know.
Auburn.
I already know.
Auburn.
Auburn's a good choice.
If they don't, they're
It's
stupid.
a good choice.
I hope A&M takes them.
It's a good choice, but I think he's got a relationship with somebody that if you watch commercials and hear him talk, he said he's the future of coaching.
Holy shit. That's
And
amazing.
what would be the better handoff?
Holy shit.
What would be the better handoff?
Deion
For a man-
Sanders to Alabama. Oh my
What would be
God.
the better handoff? What would be the
never
better
thought about
handoff
it.
for Nick Saban to say,
Right.
"Hey, I'm handing the keys to primetime"?
Oh my God.
No, they're still.
Oh no!
I don't want to say.
No, there's not. Winning is everything in the SEC.
Winning is everything, and you know that man knows how to win. And here's the other thing: how many NIL deals and fucking recruits and transfer protocols could he rack up the day he fucking signed? You'd have every BMW, Mercedes, Lamborghini, McLaren dealership within a 40-mile, 4-state radius going, take my fucking money.
Best take ever. Donnie Nolan right here, 9:30.
Hey, Donnie.
Coach's call
Donnie, can
that
you
I've ever heard.
Donnie, can you bring
That's a
that
good
up
one.
again? Donnie, bring that up
That's
again
a good
tomorrow.
one.
Donnie, bring that up again in our Whiskey and Wisdom tomorrow because I've got a huge
All right.
take on that also. I don't want to do
All
it
right.
here, but we'll do it on Whiskey and Wisdom. Hey, guys,
All right, buddy.
thank you guys for being here. Again, go visit the Hunch ATL. Track all your bets. Go track yourself against our cappers. Against Donnie won 2 last 2 weeks. Tony won 2. It's free money. Go take their money.
We
I want
swept.
this call to run their show, but they are partners of us. Thank you guys for the recap. Again, we'll be with you Thursday for our Pick'em show. Make sure you stay tuned. Go to coachescall.store, hit the menu button, go down to our Discord, hit the Discord, come join us for free. Keep up with everything we're doing, and go to our merch store. We got some cool caps, cool shirts.
Hoodie's coming this week.
Come on. We got hoodies too. Yes, we got hoodies and
Did
stuff
y'all-
coming. Go to the merch store.
Did Tony get a shirt? Did Tony get a shirt from?
Tony's gonna
I'm
get a
working
shirt
on
from
that.
me.
I'm working on that as soon as all the logos got sent to me today, and I sent it over. So it'll probably be next week, but it'll be up.
Yes.
The
Guys,
judge,
thank you again.
the judge said court is in session.
Again, we've got
All right.
our basketball podcast. It's the court is in session with Judge Tony Capo. You can go find him on Spotify, YouTube, and you can go to coachescall.store. Guys, it's been long enough. Go visit us. Thank you. And we'll see you Thursday making some picks. Adios.